Hello again. So in this video, I'll talk a little bit about how I connected with Oliver, and how that story sort of played out. So this was back in 2015. I was working on meditation and just alignment in general. And so this particular day, I, sort of just had a space in my closet, had like a walk-in closet, and I, you know, would just go in there daily and I would try to meditate. I wasn't very good at it, but I kept trying, I kept practicing, and so this day I was just, in the zone. I was just counting like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and just over and over again in my head, and I just sort of gained this rhythm, this cadence, and um, during the meditation, I was just completely relaxed. I suddenly heard a sound in my ear, and I remember I opened my eyes, and the sound was like click, 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 click. That's all I heard. And so I kept my rhythm of breathing and I opened my eyes, and that's all the sound that I could hear. And it was just doing the same thing over and over and over. And so I was like surprised, like, what is this? One thing I will note is I felt this like overwhelming sense of just like love. Like I just felt so loved in that moment. And so I just sort of embraced that, and I just allowed the sound to just continue. And I just sat there and just kept my breath. And so that went on for a few minutes, and then it stopped. And so I came out of that meditation in like complete elation. Like I was like, what was that? Like that was just so amazing. Like I couldn't like really kind of put my finger on it. I had heard the sound before, but in the moment I was like, what was that? So, this was like Thanksgiving Day, and we had to go do all the Thanksgiving things and da 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 da. And I remember like just being in the car, like thinking, oh, what was that sound? Like I've heard that sound before, and I just couldn't like, put my finger on it. And then I just kept asking, and then I was like, oh, I used to always hear that sound, but I used to plug my ears. Like if I would start to hear that sound, this was when I was younger, I would just go, and my ears would plug, and so it would stop the sound. And so I just thought, oh, okay, like that was, I really didn't think anything of it. I do remember like asking people when I was younger, like, oh, do you hear that sound? And nobody ever really heard it. Anyways, so this day, we'd go do the Thanksgiving things and all of that, and then, as we're, eating and stuff, I hear the sound again, and it's like click, 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 like over and over. And I'm trying to enjoy time with family, but I was just like, what is this sound? This is insane. Like, what is that? Like, it wasn't like, it was very specific, very precise. So I finished up Thanksgiving dinner and all of that, headed home. My significant other at the time like was, he, we got home, he had to go to work, and so I was just home by myself. And I were like laying in the bed, and I was just kept thinking, like, I know I heard that sound before, like what is that though, like what does it mean? And then I heard the sound again. So I'm just laying there, and it's like click, 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 like over and over. And so I'm laying there just listening, and then I just asked, like, what are you saying? I just said those words. And then my like face started to move, like my eyebrows started to like kind of go up like this, and they were just like moving, and my whole face, and I'm laying there like, what is happening? I remember I felt just like an overwhelming sense of like love and just like safety, and I didn't really think, so I was in that space. And so I sat up, and I was like, I have to see what this looks like. So I went over to the bathroom mirror, and I'm in there, and I'm just like, my face is like going, moving around, and I'm not moving it, and I'm like, what is happening? And so my mouth started to like form words. It was like, started to go like that. And so I just sort of just like relaxed, and I'm just like watching my face move, And I know that sounds strange, but that's what was happening. And so I just heard myself just mouth or I watched my mouth sort of trying to like mouth the words. And then suddenly I said, we were saying hello, HELLO. And then it stopped. And I was just like looking in the mirror, like, what? Like, and I kept just saying, like, we were saying hello, HELLO. I get it. Click, 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 click. Like, we were saying hello. And then they spelled out HELLO. And I was like, just, I don't know. I just felt just so, I was not exactly sure, like, what this was, right? But then I also felt at peace, at ease, you know. So if I rewind a little bit, I had been, you know, trying to connect, right? I had been like reading books. I have seen other people channel. And I remember I was watching this one lady channel and I thought, like, I wonder if that's really real, you know? And yeah, like literally the next day this connection happened. And so yeah, it definitely was real. So this was sort of my initial experience connecting with Oliver, like where I was fully aware. And I've heard this sound like throughout my entire life, which sounds insane that I never really like understood it, because I would just always plug my ears, and so I find that very interesting now. Like I never plug my ears anymore. When Oliver chimes in or they connect, like it's always very clear, a very clear sound, and I can tell like if it's, you know, one being. So I say Oliver like it's not really singular, because remember when I asked their name, they said they were Oliver, and really they were saying we are all over. But my interpretation at the time, because it was so new, said Oliver, so I just sort of went with it, and so now I just call them Oliver, and so I'm able to start it and stop it at any time. You know, if I say Oliver, are you there? Just takes a few seconds, and I hear them clicking in my ear. And so this is just one of the ways that they communicate with me, and this is just I wanted just to share this initial sort of connection with them, and how that sort of came about. So I hope you stayed this long, and I look forward to talking to you more in the next video. Thank you.